Hey guys, this is Robert here. Hope you've had a good week and I hope you're well underway with your Illustrator drawings of the dummy model. I thought I'd just do a quick video because I noticed some of you were quite new to the software, so I thought I'll just give you a little bit of a recap of what we went through on Monday, just so possibly you can work over the weekend, because we really need to have those dummy illustrations ready by Monday so we can continue with the weekly classes and sketching of the weekly garments. So just to quickly start, I'm actually using Illustrator, an earlier version of Illustrator. The tools are pretty much the same. Some things might look a little bit different on screen, but the basic functions are the same, so you should be able to understand what's going on. So I'm just going to quickly go through, and if you are not getting anything, obviously this is on video, so you can rewind it and replay it. First thing we need to do is go to File, so after you've opened up Illustrator, obviously, go to File and New Document. We want to select two artboards and we want them at A3 size. So two A3 artboards. We want the units to be in millimeters and we want the orientation to be vertical. So click on that. So we've got our two A3 artboards here. Next thing we need to do is to place the dummy images. So we need to go to File and we need to go to Place. I think in Adobe Creative Cloud you have a shortcut. My version doesn't. So just go to File, go to Place, then open up the file or the place where those images are, and we need to either double click or highlight it and place. So I've got the front image, again we go to Place, and then we need to get the back image there. So just put each of them on one of the artboards. We need to select those, just enlarge them just so they're big enough to fill the page. Do those with both of them. Okay, so we've got the front and we've got the back, each on their artboards. What we want to do is to bring up your layers panel. If you can't find that, it'll be in Window and you click on Layers. If there's a tick against it, it means it's appeared on the page somewhere. So just want to double click on that and we can just name that Dummy. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is just to lock those, just so when you're selecting paths and shapes, you're not selecting the image underneath. So all I do is just highlight the two images, then you go to Object and you go to Lock Selection, or you can do a Command 2 to lock that. Alright, so we've got our two dummies on each of the pages there. Now we just want to start zooming in to start drawing the details. So I've selected my zoom tool here, which is a little magnifying glass, and you can just click and zoom in there. So let's start by drawing the head and neck. So what you want to do is, again, go back to your Layers panel, just click on Add Layer, which is the little square box with the triangle in the corner, create a new layer, double click on the label, and let's just call that head. Okay, so we've got our head layer there. Now we want to just start drawing the shape. Before you start drawing, make sure your smart guides are on. So you go to the View menu and you just scroll down to Smart Guides and just make sure there's a tick against there, because that's going to help everything align and lock into place. So my smart guides are on. So we start by choosing the pen tool here. Just click once on the pen tool. You've got a whole lot of different pens, so make sure you've got the top one selected. So if you click and hold, you've got all your different pens. We just want the basic pen. So we just click somewhere right near the middle there. And what we do is click and hold while holding down your shift key. So you want to get these two little arms like stretching out. So you click and hold and drag just so those little arms start appearing. That indicates that there's a curve going to happen. And then we click again, and again click, hold and drag, and that will, you can then see how we form curves. So just start to get your rough shape there. Again, click, hold and drag just so your curves are following the shape of the dummy's face. Click, hold and drag. Click, hold, drag. Click, hold, drag. And you notice when you get near that bottom, the smart guides will align you with that top point. So we just want to click, hold and drag just for that last point. Okay, so you can go back and click your selection tool. So you notice it's filled with a color. So we don't actually want that. It's very hard to see what's going on. So what we want to do is to, at the bottom of your tools, you've got your fill color and you've got your stroke color. So at the moment our shape doesn't have a stroke. If you click stroke, just choose a nice bright color there, maybe a pink. I like to choose 100M. So just make sure all these other colors are dragged to 0. This is your color palette, by the way. If that's not appearing, then go to Window, hold down, and just make sure your color is selected. So we want to give that a nice bright stroke, and then click on the fill one, and click this little white square with the red line across it. That means no fill. So now we've got a nice bright stroke that we can easily see and work with. It's a bit thick, that line, so I like to work with the thinner line. At the top here you should see your stroke panel. If not, again, any windows that are not appearing, you can click on Window and just make sure that they're highlighted here with a tick. So you can also work from your stroke panel here. So at the moment it's a 1-point stroke. We just want to select either a 0.5 or a 0.25. That's really up to you. It's not really going to make much difference. Maybe a 0.5, you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we've got that basic shape. What you can do now is, you've got two selection tools here. Your main selection tool, which selects whole shapes. We've also got a direct selection tool, so that allows you to select individual points on a path. So what we want to do is just go back and just adjust some of these curves, so it's really following our model here. Go back and just adjust some of those. And you're just selecting these little arms that are coming out of the points. Yeah, and that looks about right. Okay, so we've got half of the face. So what we want to do now is duplicate that and flip it over so it makes a full head. So what we want to do is select the main selection tool, click on that, click and hold down your Option key and your Shift key, and then drag across. So that's given us a duplicate. What we want to do now is to flip that, make that a mirror image so we can then join the two. So in your tool panel, you'll see a rotate tool. Click and hold that and just choose your reflect tool. And then click on that with the reflect tool and you'll see that gives you a mirror. It sort of spins it around in a mirror image, and hold down your Shift key just so it's facing directly opposite that previous one. So click and hold that part of that half of the head, and just with your Shift key drag it across, and that will just lock into place because of your smart guides. So now you've got two halves. Choose your direct selection tool and just drag over the top 2 points. So just get it, drag over, just make sure you're highlighting those. Go up to Object, Path, and join, and that will join that into one object. You notice it's not quite the right width, so you can just highlight the whole object, use your selection tool, drag it across. Yep, and then you just got a nice face there. Okay, so we've got our head done. So what we want to do now is do the ears. So again, using the pen tool, we just want to maybe zoom in a little bit further. It doesn't matter if you're not starting right at the head, because you can move the shapes later on. But again, just with the pen tool, click, hold and drag, click, hold, drag, click, hold, drag, click, hold, drag. Just so you're creating some nice curves there. To join that to the head there, use your direct selection tool, highlight just that top point, and you can just drag that across, just so then it's sitting nicely against the head. Again, we just need to select that, hold down your Option and Shift key, so you're duplicating that, go to your mirror tool, and then flip that around so we can create the other ear on the other side. There we go, got your 2 ears. Okay, so for the neck, so what we're doing with the neck, it's made up of 2 parts. You've got sort of a rectangle and a curved bottom. So we just want to use the click on the rectangle tool, rectangle shape tool. We just want to make a rectangle that's roughly that same width as that neck. The other thing we want to do is to select the circle tool. So on your shape tool, click and hold, and then just select ellipse. So again, once we've selected that, once you put your ellipse tool there, that will help you find the center of that. So press your Option key with the ellipse tool, and then you can just start drawing a nice oval shape that's going to become the bottom of that neck. Drag that back. So just bring that ellipse to in line with the bottom of that rectangle. So you've got your ellipse selected, you've got your rectangle selected. What we want to do now is use your Pathfinder. If it's not on your screen, go to Window, go to Pathfinder, and we want to select this first option, which is Unite. Click that, and that just unites the 2 objects. So we want to get rid of this top bit, so the easiest way to do that is to go to your Eraser tool, click and hold, and we want to choose the scissors. Click once on one side, click on the other side, and you've basically cut that away from the main shape. It's given us an open object. Use your direct select tool, just grab the top of those 2 points, holding your Shift key, drag that down just in line with the neck. Right, so we've got our head and neck done. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to do will be the arms. Similar process to the neck.